Welcome to another edition of Flea Market Fantasy, the world's second greatest Bronze Age era comic book podcast. Joining me as always is new Mike L, Kevin Jank. Well, I don't know if that actually applies here. Yeah, Slash is not Flash. Slash is what we're doing here. And tell the kids what we're reading, Jank.
We're going to be reading Slash Maraud, issue number 1, 1987.
That is correct. This was a 6-issue limited series from DC Comics, and it was recommended for mature readers.
Mm-hmm.
This was
right on the cover.
Yeah, right. And I think this is like 6 years before Vertigo started, where they did their little imprint with. So this was like maybe planting the seeds for Vertigo, you know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, Watchmen come out by now, or at least started to.
But tell the kids how you heard about Slash Maraud.
So Slash Maraud, we were debating last week when we first heard of this, but I looked back and it was in the Shadow issue that we did, the DC Comics version of the Shadow. There was an advertisement in the back, towards the back of the book, that was talking about Slash Maraud. It just said, like, the Earth has 5 years left to live. Time to party or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a big party scene going on.
Yeah. And there's like a guy in the front just kind of looking beleaguered and stuff like that. And like, this sounds interesting. So I put that on the list as, you know, something we definitely needed to check out one day. And I felt now was the time.
Yeah, I'm glad you remembered it because I forgot all about it. But it was intriguing when we saw that ad. And like I said, this is a 6-issue limited series from Doug Moench and Paul Gulacy. And we'll get into them more later, but we've talked about them many times here on the show. And it's a post-apocalyptic world after an alien invasion. And I guess we'll get into all the details later, but this alien race is transforming the Earth so it's more hospitable to their kind of race. So
yeah, terraforming it, I guess, is what you call it.
And within 5 years, then humans will be extinct. Because it'll be done and they'll be screwed. All right, so that's what we're dealing with here today. But before we get into the book, let's remind everybody, if you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We're up to 116 subscribers, Jank.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, we picked up like 5 this week.
Spitting distance of 500 now.
Yeah. And I don't think, not many people at all are watching the Living Mummy video. So but yeah, we still picked up 5. So we're happy with that. People hate the Living Mummy. What can you do?
Yeah.
But anyway, thanps. We appreciate the support.
To his story.
Yeah, it's terrible. I'm a big Living Mummy fan, but apparently I'm the only one. But again, thanks to everyone, and we appreciate it. So, all right, Slash Maraud. Who's the main character in this book, Jank? It's a guy named Slash.
Yeah, Slash Maraud. Yeah,
that's his name.
Turns out the book's title makes sense after all. I was worried.
Yeah, he's kind of like Kurt Russell in those Escape from New York.
Yeah, Snake Plissken. Yeah, except he has both eyes.
Yeah.
Better depth perception.
He wears a trench coat. He's kind of got like a mullet, right? He's got a mullet?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, he had that kind of the hair that everybody had. Even Superman would have this hair in a couple of years when he came back to life.
Hey, I had this hair when I was playing hockey. My age. It was quite the look in the early 90s. All right, so what else should we talk about? Doug Moench. I guess, because I said we've talked about these people many times over the years, but old Doug Moench, we know him from Batman a lot. You know, he did a lot of Batman.
Long run on Batman, yeah.
And Paul Gulacy.
And kind of before then, I think. But yeah, I always associate him with Nightfall.
That's right, yeah, Nightfall. And Paul Gulacy, we first encountered him on the show when we did the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, old Shang-Chi, back in the 70s. And he loved Jim Steranko. And he's kind of like considered a Jim Steranko ripoff at first. But his style is very like graphic designy, not very dynamic. It's more like flat and posy kind of looking. I remember I was very aggravated by his art in that Hands of Kung Fu issue. But as he's gotten older, like you can see his style evolve. And I think what he does here is pretty good. We'll get into it later.
Yeah. He's definitely been up and down in the things we've done with him. But yeah, this was pretty solid, I thought.
We also, I think, he did that Elvira pinup, right? In that Elvira issue. I just thought of that.
Once in Chestnut.
And we also know him from doing Black Diamond, which is the Sybil Danning comic. And it's pretty clear that one of the characters in this book is just based on Sybil Danning, right? Especially the cover. Like that's Sybil Danning on the cover. It looks exactly like her.
Well, you may only know how to draw one lady's face, so.
And let's remind everybody who's never heard of Sybil Danning. I was going to say our favorite B-movie actresses, but I don't know. She's definitely mine. I don't know. You always make jokes about her. But,
no, she's Donna Spear. She at least has her moments.
Yeah, another one of my favorites. But Sybil Danning, Battle Beyond the Stars, Malibu Express, They're Playing with Fire. I think she's in Caged Heat. We haven't watched Caged Heat yet. We need to watch that immediately.
Some people find that one. Phantom Empire, where she throws a spear at a dinosaur.
That was great. She was in the TV show V the first time around. And also, in her older age, she owns a German hockey team. So she's a woman after my heart. Yeah, remember we talked about that? Yeah,
I forgot that little aspect.
Ideal woman. Yeah.
Wow.
She led them to a championship, too. So good on you, Sybil Danning. Good on you. But yeah, the lady on the cover is clearly Sybil Danning. I always do research on these books, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Usually that research, in quotes, involves me going to Wikipedia.
Yep.
This
Maybe
book
like
doesn't
the
even
DC fandom page if necessary.
Yes, yeah. And then occasionally I'll Google up, see if there's interviews with creators I can read, learn some deeper stuff. But this book doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
No.
Nothing.
No, and the DC fandom page like just lists the issues, like issues number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's it.
That's it. That's all the information they have available.
I was able to find a couple other websites like blogs and stuff talking about it, but they don't really talk anything other than just what's in the book. You know, like there's no real background on the title, how it was created, why it was created, you know, and I couldn't really find anything about it. So yeah, Slash Maraud. This is it.
Kind of a mystery. Yeah. Yeah. We don't know. I saw there was some website was talking about an interview with both Doug Moench and Paul Gulacy, but then I could never actually find where that interview was.
I was going to say, I'd like to read that. Yeah. But
yeah. Nope. I think it was like a podcast or something, but I couldn't find the podcast. Like, why is there not a link to the podcast?
That would have been helpful. Yeah, so not a lot of background here for Slash Maraud. So what we're saying is we're just wasting time because this episode is going to be really short. Because there's nothing to really talk about.
All we have is the tome of the book, and that's it.
So, all right, Chang, let's just get right into it, I guess. Why don't you describe the cover for us?
So it's a very interesting cover. They all have the same kind of format, all 6 issues.
This is like the most 80s cover ever. Like,
yes, that's why I like it.
You can't get more 80s than this cover.
Yep, it's got a very Miami Vice feel for something that's set in an apocalyptic future. It's got the corner box where it's got the DC and all that stuff suggested for mature readers. But then a big chunk of the page is just kind of this light blue background and kind of a reddish pinkish font. So Slash Maraud, and he's got a big slash under it, like underlining his name. And then we got a picture, like a framed picture, kind of in the middle bottom of the page. That's the actual cover itself. It says a 6-part miniseries by Moench and Gulacy. And then we got Slash Maraud standing in front of a brick wall. And he's got his scarf, and he's smoking a dart, and he's holding a gun. And there's a lot of graffiti behind him, and then he's got his lady, old Wild Blue there, sitting on a motorcycle.
And that is clearly Sybil Danning on a motorcycle.
Yeah, if you give her dye her hair blue, I could see it.
And the costume she has is like a zebra print outfit. On the cover it looks pink and black, but it's white and black. Everything's just colored like haze pink here on the cover. And look on the graffiti behind old Slash. There's a swastika. I don't know if you want to put that on the cover, but all right.
Apparently, once the aliens come, the Nazis make a comeback.
It's a bold choice. And what else does it say? West Side Rules, Chino 99. Oh, someone likes pants. Chino 99. Fight Fuzz. Yeah, because the aliens in this book, they're called the Shapers, I believe. And they look like Muppets, kind of like fuzzy-headed little Elmos.
Yeah, this is definitely something you would have seen in the Star Wars cantina somewhere, for sure.
Now, in one of those blogs I read, it said that they took the aliens can, they can be any shape they want. So they took those shapes when they're around humans, I guess, to seem less threatening, although they are jerks, these aliens.
Yeah.
They
sure are.
They're just awful people. Well, awful aliens. So I don't know. But then, there's this scene in here where it's just aliens around aliens and they're still looking like these little Muppets. So I don't know if that's true.
That's true.
What I read.
Yeah. That's an interesting point. It's a weird look. They kind of, when they don't have their mouths open, it doesn't look like they even have mouths. Like they seal up so perfectly that they
like a Muppet
like
with his mouth closed. Just Grover or Elmo. Or,
It's like no line or seam. It's just, closed.
Yeah. And they're all fuzzy. So the humans who are resisting them call them fuzzes. All those stupid fuzz. And if you're a human that supports the aliens, you're called a Fuzz Licker.
Possibly literally, judging by what's going on.
Yeah,
in
there is some fuzz licking going on in this book. That's why it's for mature readers.
Yeah.
So, there's also like a reggae band made with monkey men, right? Did you see that guy?
Yep. I figured you'd enjoy that part.
At least I read it was a reggae-ish band. I don't know. You can't hear.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I always hate when you see lyrics for some unknown band in like a comic and you're like, I don't know how this is supposed to sound. Why is this even here?
Yeah, I believe I heard one of those blogs say it was a reggae rock or something. I don't know. But anyway, all right. So there's the cover. This cover, it's pretty great. It's just, you see this, you're like, holy hell. It's, like you said, Miami Vice mixed with like this Escape from New York movie. And
yeah.
But what do you think the deal is with him wearing a scarf?
I don't know. That is a good point. Like, it seems like it's a very tropical place. He's in Vegas. He's in like the weird tropical dinosaur desert before that. So,
but he is in Vegas, but it's snowing purple snow in Vegas.
That is true. Yeah. I guess he just doesn't want to catch a cold.
Yeah.
So functional.
It's not a very intimidating look though, this scarf.
Maybe he was a fan of that one Doctor Who always had a scarf.
Sorry, there's the cover. And now we open it up. Beautiful Blues, I guess is the title of this issue. Mm-hmm. And the first thing we see is like a giant dinosaur skeleton.
Yeah.
Now that raises some questions.
It sure does.
I guess the aliens, they're what do you call it? Terraforming? Is that what you called it?
Yeah, terraforming.
Yeah, so they're changing the planet. So I guess now dinosaurs and giant lizards are rolling around and stuff.
Yeah, I did not expect this going in. I just thought, the world's going to die. They're having a party, but nope, they're completely changing what the world is like in these last 5 years too. Like, things are quite different than what you would expect.
The beginning of this book is not what I expected.
No, not at all.
Like 5 or 6 pages of this. It's like, what the hell's going on here? There's a guy on a motorcycle. There's dinosaurs. There's all kind of, and it's a high tech motorcycle because he's got like computers on it and everything. And he's getting some little alert, zeet, some little alerts going off. And he says, shoot, he puts on his little goggles and he goes riding in. Says, what's going on here, Jank? Why is he getting a little alert?
So there's a guy on the ground who's just kind of wearing a baseball hat, and he's just kind of
LA Dodgers hat.
Attacked by a dinosaur. Yeah, that's true. The Dodgers are still around, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they say what year this is?
I don't know. It seems like the alien invasion has already been going on for a while, but they have 5 years from this point, they think. So I don't know how long it's been since the aliens first showed up. But
like, is this set in an imaginary 1987, or is it supposed to be like 2000 and something? Or?
They don't really ever say. I don't think.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But anyway, there's like dinosaurs now running around, and they're little ones, not a gigantic one, I guess.
Well, I mean, there's that giant skeleton, so you got to assume that.
But that was in the foreground, so it's tough to get a scale thing,
Like, that's true.
Because he's in the background, so who knows. But, what are the ones in Jurassic Park, the Velociraptor kind of deals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit bigger and fatter than that, but yeah.
Yeah, so this dinosaur's chasing after this guy in the Dodgers hat.
Yeah.
So
this purple dinosaur may have been the precursor to Barney. Barney may never have had this dinosaur.
But our old buddy Slash Maraud, he's a reluctant hero. He doesn't want. He's like, why am I even bothering saving this guy? But he is a hero, so he does do the right thing. Yeah, because he's a hero, so he has to do it. Now, how does he save him, Jank?
Well, he drives his motorcycle through essentially a minefield. There's like these weird brown spots on the ground that apparently if you step on them or anything like that, they shoot out their tentacles. these things are alive and they have like tentacles with suckers in them that just kind of attack you. So he lures the dinosaur there, and then they start attacking the dinosaur and taking him down.
So clearly, this is one of the changes the aliens have made. Because here in western Pennsylvania, there are no holes, like tentacles coming out. So I'm guessing that I don't get out much, though.
It's just holes full of bees that you have to take care of in your yard.
That's right. Yeah, I did have to do that. But, yeah, so the tentacles come out of the holes, grab the dinosaur, and that guy in the Dodgers hat, he's all thankful, you know, hey, thanks for saving me, buddy. But this guy seems, oatmeal north of the eyebrows. This guy, I don't know.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, like, if this was The Walking Dead, you'd be looking at this guy real suspicious right away.
And for whatever reason, our hero there, Slash, he just says, all right, yeah, hang around with me, I guess.
Yeah, he doesn't really want to. Like, this guy just kind of won't leave and won't shut up, so he's just like, all right, whatever. Yeah, he just kind of cuts off just the tip of the dinosaur's tail. And I guess he's going to eat that.
Yeah, not very some meat. Meal. So he hacks off the tail, and he says, all right, you can eat my dinosaur tail with me, buddy. And they make a campfire, and they're roasting the meat over the fire. And here's where we get the exposition filled in. This guy's telling us all this about how, you know, the world's changing, you know, these damn aliens and everything. And he asks, hey, where are you?
He's throwing all this, like, future slang at you, and you're like, it's kind of hard to follow, but it's just intriguing enough. You're like, oh, I guess this will make sense eventually. And it pretty much does, so I appreciate it.
But this guy was annoying the hell out of me here at the beginning.
Yes.
You know? I did not like this guy very much. And old Slash is like, he's like, where you going, Slash? He's like, I'm going to Vegas. And he's like, hey, that's the old, how does he say, like the epicenter of the aliens or whatever. They're like all centered in Vegas, I guess.
For this entire area.
Yeah, he's like, you better be careful. And he's like, hey, you're not a Fuzz Licker, are you? And Slash says, you know, hey, what's it to you, you know? And this guy gets real mad.
This guy's a real creep. It turns out. He's very angry at the Fuzzes. He hates them because they killed his wife and kids, I believe.
Apparently what these aliens do is they come in and they round up humans. I saw a clip from a later. Did you read any other issues?
I flipped through them. I didn't actually read them.
Yeah, well, I just one of those websites I was reading, they showed a clip from one of the future issues. And I guess what these aliens do is they round up humans, strip them naked, and walk them off planks into giant vats of acid or whatever, and like dissolves their bodies into certain the minerals and stuff that they need. So yeah, so I guess that's what happened to this guy's family. So yeah, he's kind of upset.
I can see why.
Yeah. So what does Slash say exactly that gets him mad?
It's very weird. He's like, yeah, what's the matter? Maybe you are a Fuzz Licker or something, huh? You like the Shapers, cowboy? And Slash says, they're okay as rugs. Then maybe it's me you don't like. Is that it? You're getting warmer.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. This guy's just angry at the world and has decided to now take it out on Slash.
Yeah, because this guy won't shut up. He just keeps talking a lot. And Slash is getting annoyed by it, just like we all are. And he's like, yeah, you know, I may not
getting warmer. But I think he's referring to the fact that the guy is practically standing in the fire.
Well, I think he also means, yeah, I don't like you. Yeah, the guy is getting close there and to the fire.
Really
good. And so this guy just, you know, he's getting really mad. So he takes out a knife. He's going to jump right at old Slash Maraud. But Slash is eating his dinosaur tail on a knife. So when this guy jumps on him, Slash just sticks the knife up right to the guy's belly. Kills him.
Here goes his dinner. All covered in blood now.
So he hops on his motorcycle with his red scarf blowing in the breeze, and he drives off. There's lightning cracks in the background.
Snow. They want to let us know that, yes, this purple snow is not like an artistic effect. This is, the actual snow is purple.
Yep.
Not just colored weird.
Them damn fuzzes. They like purple snow, I guess. So now we cut to Vegas, and we see 3 nuns walking down with a placard that says, meet thy maker. But you see all the stuff in the background, like the normal Vegas kind of stuff, casinos, girls, you know, strip joints and whatnot.
And $1.29, that's pretty good.
And then in the next panel, we see the nuns getting gunned down in the street. Just someone off panel just shoots them and murders them all. It's a tough town, this Vegas.
It usually is, but yeah, I would imagine in a post-apocalypse, it's going to be even tougher.
They're just murdering nuns. And then we see the Monkey Man Band.
Yeah. These guys are pretty great. Quite the stylistic choice. I'm surprised nobody has done this in real life. I think the Monkees would have been all over this.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like a reggae band at all. They've got 2 guitars and a drummer.
Yeah, where's the kettle drum?
It's basically Nirvana when you think about it. The bass player, guitarist, and a drummer. All right. But yeah, this is inside the club or wherever they're going. Yeah, Slash is going to see Wild Blue. We don't know what Wild Blue is at this point. He just made a reference to when Wild Blue calls.
Wild Blue, yeah.
Yeah, you go. So in this club, it's kind of like another orgy scene from that zombie book almost.
Holy crud, it's an orgy.
Like we see a stripper with her almost bare ass right to us in the camera, and a bunch of other strippers dancing. This is why it's for mature readers. Yeah, just everybody having a good time here in this club. But you know who's really having a good time? Them fuzzes.
Yep, they get their pick.
Those filthy fuzzes. They're kind of. How would you describe how they dress? It's almost like they got like robes or something, but it almost looks like the Beatles and Sgt. Pepper's. I don't know.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, they got fancy, tapes and weird little armor.
And they have ladies, like the strippers are just begging to be with these fuzzes, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're fuzz lickers.
Who knew that fuzzes were so into human ladies? I mean, who could resist?
Yeah. And now we see old Slash outside in the purple snow. He's coming off his motorcycle, and but he takes a gun out of his little compartment there.
He sees the dead nuns, and he's like, innocent penguins.
Blues Brothers throwing back on the penguins. But he knows, there's going to be trouble, you know. I'm going to take my gun with me and my scarf. And he's walking to the club, and there's a sexy lady kind of dressed like Typhoid Mary, looking with the stockings and everything. And but then you see, her face is all messed up. So it's because these fuzzes, they're rough. Yeah. Is that what happened here? They beat her up?
Yeah, I'm guessing so. Yeah, in the next panel, they're walking a guy around on a chain, like his underpants.
Yes. Mature readers. That's what this is. Yeah, these fuzzes are weird, man.
Yeah, they're into some weird stuff.
So, and then there's another big fat guy with a bone in his hair and completely naked, I guess.
Like a caveman. Yeah, he's got like a caveman toga.
And he's trying to grab a lady fuzz, I guess. Yeah, because there's a lady fuzz walking around with a martini.
Yeah, the lady fuzz, like Slash is worried that she's going to come over and try to hit on him, but luckily this caveman fat guy just shows up and gets intercepts her.
Yeah, so basically these fuzzes are just using humans for their sexual pleasure.
Yeah. Yep.
Staying fuzzes.
It's a lot of a party than I initially thought this was going to be. Like, I thought everyone's just, partying it up because the world's ending. But no, they're kind of being forced to party.
Well, yeah, I think some of them are just, I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I think some of them are just like the world's ending. Let's just, let's have sex with a fuzz. I guess, let's do that. But then the fuzzes are also
my bucket list.
Yeah, they're also like, we're just going to make you do this stuff. But some humans can coexist there with the fuzzes because old Slash sits down at a table, and here comes Sybil Danning over to wait on him, and this is Wild Blue.
Yep.
This is who you want to get the call to. But she takes his order, and then he says, "Yeah, I'm going up to a room upstairs or something." She tells him what room to go to, So Slash is meeting old Wild Blue. And I want to point out also in this club scene, the coloring in this is very, very good. Like, everything's like reds and pinks, and it's pretty awesome.
You can't tell that Wild Blue actually has blue hair yet, but
yeah. She's all in red. Yeah, who did the coloring on this? Was this Gulacy, or let me go back here real quick. He's credited as the art. Oh, the colorist is Adrian Waugh or Roy. I'm going to go with Waugh. Like Patrick Waugh.
Yeah, all around, I'd say the coloring is pretty great. It's all very solid and very cool looking.
Yeah, even the campfire scene was awesome. A lot of heavy blacks and just the light of the campfire. So, all right. So he goes upstairs to a room, and Wild Blue follows him up, and she brings a drink, and we realize, oh yeah, she's Wild Blue. She's got the blue hair, the zebra striped outfit, and he's talking to her, and we get the sense that they've known each other for a while. There may have been a little something between them in the past, one of them deals. But why did she call out to old Slash to come see her, Jank? What's going on?
So basically, she tells him that, suppose you've heard that the final stage of our planet's redecoration will not only make the Earth a paradise for shapers, but will also render it uninhabitable to us puny humans. Yeah. She starts asking, so you're one of the people who stands up to these guys? He's like, I'm not going to fight a dumb fight, I can't win. But she starts telling him that there is a guy, I can't pronounce his name, none of us can, but he's known as Dr. X, supposedly an alien Einstein of biology and the master of eugenics behind the whole reshaping of Earth. Don't tell me he wants to make amends. Like Einstein, he's seen his glorious work turned to hideous ends. His homeworld was dying, polluted and overpopulated, and here was a chance to shape, like a god, for an entire new world for his race. And so this Dr. X supposedly has changed his mind a little bit, and he wants to help humans stop the shapers here.
Yeah, he feels bad that the shapers are treating the humans like this.
Mm-hmm.
He never intended, exterminate all humans. So he's like, oh, all right, I want to stop my work here.
Yep.
Do what's right. And now
humans to help me out.
Yeah, and old Slash says, well, how do we know what he looks like? And she's like, well, that's the thing is that, no one knows what he looks like. But she unscrews a lid for a bottle, and there's a picture. She goes, he kind of looks like this at the moment. It's just a human guy with the mustache and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a shaper.
He may not look like this.
Yeah, he can be whatever he wants. But so the fact that she has this picture on a bottle cap, it's like, this is real top secret stuff. You got to be real careful. Or them shapers catch wind of this. They're going to kill us, So he says, I'll give it some thought,
Yeah, give me an hour. I'm going to go think about it.
And she lights up a dart, too, when they're talking. She's a smoker. Yeah. And before he leaves, she kisses him, She's like, here's something to help you think. And then
like, you can't bribe me.
And so he goes downstairs to think it over. And so then we cut to the Fuzzes on their spaceship.
Yep.
And there are some new...
Still looking very fuzzy.
Yeah, still fuzzy looking. And they're coming to Earth because apparently they need someone to run the show because they're upset with what's going on in Vegas. They don't think it's being run properly, this operation. Like, the Fuzzes down there who are controlling things, and they're kind of like, playing grab ass with the humans. And they're like...
Yeah, you're not killing nearly enough humans.
Yeah. We need a sterner hand here, So these guys are coming down to hash it out with the people who are running Vegas, or the Fuzzes who are running Vegas. And then we get a shot of like what the world looks like now, and just like New York City's overgrown in like a jungle kind of thing, and cities are flooded.
Flooded, like apparently even up to the top of the Sears Tower.
And some cities just have weird crystals everywhere. I don't know what that's about. Looks like Martinex from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Totally, yeah. The same kind of like weird rainbowy colors, yeah.
And then we cut back to the casino again, or the nightclub we were at before, and we see another human lady like feeding lizards to a Fuzz. And this lady could use a razor.
With the side shot of his face, like those look pretty cool. Yeah. Very Muppety, but yeah, very cool.
And it doesn't look like this lady's shaving under her arms. So
no.
Maybe that's a thing Fuzzes like.
They are Fuzzes after all.
Yeah, they enjoy that. And so that the new Fuzzes who just arrived, the hardcore guys, they show up and they're talking to these other Fuzzes and like, hey, what's going on here? And the Fuzz who's kind of running things, he's got a lady on his lap at the moment, eating lizards, and he's like, yeah, I'm living it up. What's it to you? Basically, he's just like, give it some time. When we got here, we were murdering humans too, but there's just too many of them. Like, what's the point? There's so many
5 years, we're all going to be dead anyway. Like,
yeah, who cares?
Why are we trying so hard?
Let's just live it up. Have some fun, relax. Let your Fuzz hang down, just relax. So these guys are like,
this guy's attitude.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty great.
Office work.
Yeah. So I was a big fan of that. And so these new Fuzzes are still not happy. And but even the Fuzzes who are just having fun, like the one waitress is late with his drink, he just shoots her in the chest and kills her.
Yeah. I don't know if he's trying to like posture for the new guys, like, hey, look, I got my finger on the whip here.
Yeah, so this poor lady just gets murdered. But these Fuzzes, that's what they are. They have no respect for human life at all, They just use them and they can exterminate them like stepping on a bug at any time. They just don't care. So these fuzzes are still debating things. But the one...
Yeah, because the new fuzzes are like, well, like if we... You know how many fatalities, like fuzz fatalities we've had recently? Like, you could have stopped that by doing this. Like, how many would we have lost if we would have gone after the humans in force? Like, way more, probably. So, it's like most of the humans are too scared to actually attack us, so not that big a deal.
The new fuzz who just showed up, he just turns around and he's got like a TV remote control, but it shoots lasers out, and he just eradicates some more people in the club.
Yeah.
And, just to blow off some steam, I guess. He's like, I want to kill these people anyway.
He's like, I'm in charge. This is how it's going to be. I'm just going to keep murdering people, pretty much.
Yeah, and again, his language is in little brackets, like we talked about so we can read it even though it's spoken in alien English or alien language or whatever. But anyway, yeah. So he says, yeah, we're making changes here, and he walks off. But the other fuzz who had the other lady on his lap, he just turns and grabs the nearest human lady he sees and just starts Frenching her right there.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, that dead lady, like, no big loss there. Her kisses reeked. Let's see how yours are.
And old Slash Maraud, he's been watching this whole time, Yeah. We see him walking up the stairs. He doesn't do anything about it, though. But we see him walking up the stairs, and he's drinking a bottle. He opens the door, and we see old Wild Blue's sexy outline there against the window. And he's like, all right, Wild Blue. He's like, yeah, I got an answer for you. She still has his back to him. But he hauls off and hits her over the head with the bottle. Smashes her. That's not Wild Blue. Who is that?
It's Bird Brain from the New Mutants.
That's exactly who it looked like. No, it's a fuzz. It's a filthy fuzz disguised as Wild Blue. Oh, man. That is crazy. So, old, I keep wanting to call him Snake. Like,
yeah, I can see why. Yeah, they're very similar characters. Yeah, Flash kind of loads his machine gun into her several times in the chest. She goes flying into a closet and then still is alive. So these things are pretty tough apparently. And she starts trying to grab the broken bottle. She's gonna attack Slash from behind, who is no longer looking. He's like, well, I shot her. I guess job's done.
Yeah, he thinks people are going to hear the gunshots and come up the stairs. So he's like going to the door to gun them down when they come up the stairs. But yeah, she's sneaking up behind him with the bottle. But Sybil Danning, the real Sybil Danning's in the closet.
Yeah.
She had been tied up and gagged, and I guess unconscious. Because why wasn't she making noise earlier? But she comes out of the closet, and old Slash just turns around and guns down the Muppet lady, the lady Fuzz. But there's Blue right behind her. He could have easily murdered Blue, too, in this moment.
Yeah. And then there's a very strange panel where it looks like Blue and the Fuzz are like scissoring, but I think she's kicking her out the window.
Yeah, Blue's got her hands tied behind her back, but she karate kicks her with her right leg, and the Fuzz's left leg goes up in there, and they're both in zebra print outfits, so it's pretty cool, like the way that is. And the Fuzz goes out the window. Old Blue's there, hey, untie me or whatever. And the Fuzzes downstairs hear all the noise of everything. And they look out the window and they see the Fuzz splattered in the purple snow. And then she says, how did you know? How did you know? And he says, doesn't he say something about the kiss? It wasn't.
Yeah, her kiss is reeked. It's the same thing that the Shapers were saying.
Did he really say the exact same thing? I can't even remember.
Yep. Yep, sure did.
So now the Shapers, the Fuzzes, they want to come up the stairs. Now this is a little weird because they're coming up the stairs, and old Slash says, "I got a plan, don't you worry." And he puts this little metal gadget down beside the door. Yeah. And then when the Fuzzes blow open the door and they come in, he waits for them to get real close, and then he shoots the thing on the ground, and then that blows up. So,
yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Because the guys are coming through the door, like they could have shot him already, or he could have just shot them as they came through the door, but instead he shoots with a little gadget.
Or maybe put it on the door, and then once they're at the door, you blow it up.
But so it blows up, and it kills those little Fuzzes, and it also puts a hole in the ground, right?
Yeah.
So they jump through the hole in the ground, and what do they land on, Jim?
Well, it turns out in the club below, they have a giant panda in a cage, in like a bamboo cage. They land right on top of it. And seems to be spooking the panda pretty good. He's not having this. So he might be going on a rampage next issue, it seems like.
Yeah, because next issue, just in time for the Habeline Whalers second set. Oh, that's a band name.
Yeah.
The
The band's coming back. That's all right.
Pandemonium is next issue. So yeah, giant panda. So there it is. That's how it ends.
Yeah, that's a solid first issue. You covered a lot of ground in this one.
They jumped through the floor onto a giant panda. Yeah. So there's Slash Maraud. How'd you feel about Doug Moench's writing here?
I thought it was pretty solid. This is kind of a textbook example, I think, of how you would do a story like this. You start off with like your kind of outside world where your hero encounters a random guy, does something heroic. You start to like him already. Like, oh, look, you saved this guy. Even though that guy turns out to be kind of creepy and he has to kill him anyway, but still, it sets up the world, sets out what's going on with the dinosaurs and stuff like that. And then you kind of get into the meat of it. There's some actual hope. You set that up that there may be hope to, forestall the end of the world here. And that's their mission, is to go and try to find this guy. So I thought it set it all up very well. And it actually, seems like a story I might want to finish. I don't know that I'll ever have time to do it, but I liked it.
I agree with you. No complaints from me. Like I said, I love the bit about the fuzzes on Earth. You were just slacking off and like, just enjoy,
Yeah.
So that was
very
pretty
relatable.
great. But I also like how like savage and merciless these fuzzes are. They'll just murder people without a second thought. And even though they look all goofy. Yeah. How do you feel about them looking like little Muppets?
You know what? It's unique enough that I like it. I don't really have any complaints. You don't see a lot of aliens that look like this, so that's cool. It's hard to come up with a new design, I'm sure, even by the 80s, like a lot of things had been done. But yeah, I kind of like it.
I think the more standard ways to go to be like a goofy or an alien looking like a lizard looking alien or something, like a scary looking alien, or you have one that's only slightly different than human, but maybe different skin color. But to have like a fuzzball head looking like a Muppet, never would have thought of that. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's unique, especially like at that one side panel where he's eating the lizard. I was like, this looks really cool. I wish you actually saw their mouths more.
How do you like old Slash Maraud as a hero?
So far so good. I like him. He's kind of the reluctant hero. That kind of Han Solo type trope, I guess, almost, where he's like, I guess I'll do this, but it's not really his thing. But I thought he was pretty likable. I like that he's willing to help people, and he's also kind of wary of them at the same time. So I feel like that's a fitting hero for this type of apocalyptic, world.
And I like Wild Blue, Sybil Danning tribute. So a fan of that. And a great outfit. I don't know about Slash's scarf. But
he could lose the scarf for sure. No one would miss that.
The only real complaint. And again, I really didn't like the thing with the door. That was weird. But all right. But otherwise, yeah, no
setting
real
him up for a Home Alone type trap, Yeah. You gotta do.
Yes. All right. So what about Paul Gulacy's art?
I thought it was very good. Of the Paul Gulacy art we've seen, this may be the best, I would say. Like,
I would agree.
Faces were all very good, especially those monkey men. Those monkey men in the band, looked great. That really impressed me. Yeah, all around, this felt like a classier, prestige type of book. So, I really appreciated his artwork here. Like you said, the coloring is great in all the scenes. It's all very colorful and very bright, vibrant. And, yeah, it's just great.
Yeah, the coloring is awesome. I always point to Marie Severin in Claws of the Cat, but that's number one. This would probably be the second best colored book we've encountered in all the years of Flea Market Fantasy.
Yeah,
I just like when people do unique things with the coloring, because it's usually in comic books, coloring is almost like an afterthought. It seems like no one really puts too much thought into it. But yeah, you can tell they're going for atmosphere and moods and stuff with the coloring. So it's pretty cool. Big fan of that.
Stylized. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I will say this is my favorite Gulacy I've ever read. Usually I'm not a huge fan because, like I said, his stuff looks flat and posed and not like dynamic. And that's just his style, it's just what he does. So I'm more classic comic book, like Buscema, that kind of stuff. But I like this a lot. This was very well done, I thought. There's only a few panels where I thought, oh, what is going on here? But overall, I liked it. I mean, it's Gulacy, so, but, I liked it.
It's not the greatest thing you'll ever see, but it's really damn solid, I would say, for the most part.
Yeah. All right, so what do you think here? 1 out of 10 for Slash Maraud.
Like I said, I really actually would be curious to see how this all pans out. So I think I'm going to give it a 9.
Look at you.
I really enjoyed it. It really did suck me in. So, I think I'm going to have to give it a 9.
I'll probably go 8, but it's a solid 8. Moench's writing was good. It just seemed like there was still something missing though. A little something like, Slash Maraud. He's the reluctant hero, but I don't know if he had that charisma or that spark that would make me want to follow him, an adventure. He seems kind of bland.
That's true. He doesn't have like a lot of, he's just kind of hanging back, not getting involved. And so there's no one for him to like talk to in the bar, like sassy remarks to or something like that.
No snappy comebacks, no really intimidating quotes or something like cool about him. He's just kind of floating through this and,
there's no moment like from They Live where, Roddy Piper's just like, I've come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Exactly. So I don't know if I'm sold on him, but I like Wild Blue. Gulacy's not one of my favorite artists or anything, but I thought he did a good job here. And the coloring was awesome by Adrian Waugh. So, so 8 for me is pretty solid. That's high praise.
I agree with that. I mean, it's honestly surprising people haven't talked more or interviewed the guys about this series more.
Yeah. I don't know what it is either. Like, it's only 6 issues. It's pretty daring for DC to be doing stuff like this in 1987, right? Like, just the tone of this book and I guess this is why they created Vertigo, though, so they do more of this kind of stuff.
It certainly worked out. Yeah, this one kind of got lost as like the grandfather, I guess.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Like, you never hear this book mentioned ever.
No. So. They don't even want to talk about it on their own website. So that's bizarre. There's never been like a reboot or like, oh, let's go back to the Slash Maraud world or anything like that.
So that makes me wonder if maybe the subsequent 5 issues don't follow up so well,
Yeah, that could be.
Because I remember I got with Electro Assassin. I swooned for that first issue of Electro Assassin, that limited series, and then it all went downhill quick after that.
Not so great.
Maybe the same thing happens here.
That could be. I mean, I looked at it. It seems pretty consistent. I didn't have time to read it all, but.
So, all right, there it is, Slash Maraud. Go ahead and check it out there. It's worth experiencing. Yeah. Slash Maraud. All right, so next week.
What do you got next?
Yeah, we're going to go, I'm still at DC. It's another DC book.
Hey now.
I've done nothing but DC lately. I've read way more Marvel, so there's a lot in DC I've never heard of or never experienced. So what the hell, we'll live it up. But I mentioned this book a couple weeks ago. We're going to go Secret Society of Supervillains, issue 10 from 1977.
Okay.
Did you ever hear of the Secret Society of Supervillains?
Not except for you mentioning it the other week.
Yeah, I never knew this was a thing. I think it was around for like 15 issues or so. And it's just a bunch of supervillains getting together, doing wacky hijinks. So there we go.
It's like the real world for supervillains. They all live in a house, and people
like some issues have like Superman stuff in it, but I think the main recurring hero in these books is a fellow named Comet Man, I think. But like some of the villains we're dealing with here in this issue, I think, Grodd, the big gorilla. I think.
Grodd, yeah, all right. Getting some more monkeys.
Yeah. So, gotta get some more monkeys in here. But this will be something. So, yeah, Secret Society of Supervillains. I think Jerry Conway's the writer and Dick Ayers is the artist. So that Jerry Conway did a lot of stuff, man.
It's giving Roy Thomas a run for his money.
Did a lot of stuff. So, all right, there it is. That's next week on The Big Show. Thanks once again for liking and subscribing on YouTube and for listening to this nonsense every week. And thank you, Jank, for finding Slash Maraud.
Yeah.
Now that we're experienced Slash Maraud, would you say you're a Fuzz Licker? Does that mean we're Fuzz Lickers, that we like Slash Maraud?
Ooh, I guess so. I'm going to change my bio on Facebook.
Oh, Fuzz Licker. All right, so until next week,
Fuzz Licker.
don't get any jank on you.